Lawmakers with Action Wisconsin are gaining support for a bill to revive a tax incentive for films made in the state, with the hope of turning Wisconsin into the new Hollywood. The First Alert update, Jamal James speaks with businesses and filmmakers about the proposed bill.
Roll camera.
For many of the filmmakers throughout the state of Wisconsin, like Nathan Deming, they're starting to see a change in the way movies are made in Hollywood.
They're at the lowest shooting levels in history. So basically Hollywood is leaving Hollywood, and right now nobody knows where it's going to go.
But through Assembly Bill 231, the plan is to bring Hollywood to the Midwest. Gaining bipartisan support in Madison, the bill would build a state film office and provide a tax incentive of up to 30% for filmmakers if approved by the department. One of the biggest movies to be filmed here in Northeast Wisconsin is Public Enemy, starring Johnny Depp, with Kevin McHugh, one of the managers at Venue 404, saying it helps to bring in business. Using artifacts and moments from the movie to help tie it all together.
When people tour our venue, which is largely these days a wedding and event space, they love to see all those things.
A big selling point where clients can even go back and see where Oshkosh was on the big screen.
They're excited about it. They can still actually see the movie now and then compare it back to, the actual place they're going to be doing their wedding.
With the hope for this bill to give other communities the same opportunity.
If you let us tell our stories, crazy things happen here, exciting things, all different kinds of stories, who knows what kind of show like a Breaking Bad could happen here in the future.
Those spearheading the bill say the plan is to keep growing that support. If you'd like to help with Action Wisconsin's cause, we'll have a link for you at wbay.com/links. In Oshkosh, Jamal James, Action 2 News.